Hey, Real Life Pastor Freddie T here. I hope to see you today at 2 p.m. at Pastor Ben's house for the ultimate snowball fight. No, I'm just kidding. I do hope that you're enjoying a snowball fight or building a great snowman, staying safe, staying warm. I hate that we're not worshiping in person together, but we do have today an inspiring story for you, a testimony from Kayla Martin. It's going to be special. You're going to love it, so stay tuned for a real brief story about Kayla. And then a great worship song led by Pastor Dwayne Moore and our worship team. So that's what's coming at you today. I do want to ask if you are familiar with this verse in the book of Job, chapter 37, verses 6 and 7. Listen to this, and it gives us a little clue as to what God is doing this morning. Job 37, verse 6, listen to this. For to the snow, he says, fall on the earth. God is saying to the snow, fall on the earth. Likewise to the downpour, his mighty downpour. So when it snows, when it's pouring down rain, when it's icing, we know that it's God who has said snow. It's God who has said rain, downpour. Why? Verse 7 says, he seals up the hand of every man, that all men whom he made may know it. Did you hear that? What is God doing this morning? As he's sending the snow, as he's sending the ice, as he's bringing this inclement weather, he's closing up our hand so that we can't work and we have to go inside and look up and recognize that he is the mighty God. So I hope this morning you're looking up, giving glory to your Maker, giving glory to God. Hey, we want to connect with you. I hope that you will text the word mission to 97,000 to take a step here at Real Life. There's all kinds of events coming up. There's mission trips for you to register for. There's Disciple Now for our students. There's a marriage night coming up. Don't miss out on what God is doing at Real Life. Text the word mission to 97,000 to get connected to what God is doing. You can give, you can worship through giving today by texting mission to 97,000. Enjoy this testimony from Kayla Martin in this song from Dwayne Moore.
My name is Kayla, and I'm married to Alex Martin. You would have thought we would have organically met between mutual friends, but we actually swiped right on Tinder. That's how we met. And after we graduated, shortly after, Alex proposed, and we decided to start a life here in Clarksville. One of my friends from in college back in California, she was a big influence on my testimony and just shared a lot about just like who Christ is himself. And it was not until Freddie T came and spoke at Hilldale and talking about real life even coming about and that he was starting this church plant. I remember just feeling just instant goosebumps in that moment, like hearing Freddie talk about this, and that I just felt like God was like telling me to say yes. And I think that's where everything changed. Everything changed. I learned so much being on the core team for Real Life, and I just felt at home. And this is where I need to be when we started adding a baby into the family, and then Enzo coming, getting pregnant, and then realizing, okay, well, we can serve and do all these things, and then hey, this baby actually there's complications. So it was on my 20-week ultrasound. They found just a couple bright spots on that ultrasound. So they said, hey, we want to take you back in. We're going to do an extensive ultrasound. It was heartbreaking at the time because they said it was a lot worse than they had anticipated. I don't think I've ever truly suffered in my life before Enzo. They had thought that maybe it was just going to be, something like small. And they said that the brain cyst actually covered about 75% of his brain matter. We were tested a lot, whether he would get sick or he'd have to get a surgery or we'd get another diagnosis. It was constantly, I felt like bomb after bomb. It's one thing already to be a mom of 3 kids. Now you take that and it's one of those children needs you to be their hands and feet to everything, right? So it's, getting up in the morning, getting, him out of bed, it's carrying him, transferring him, it's, changing his diapers, it's feeding him, and then you add into the top of okay, if Enzo's in pain, I've got to figure out why he's in pain. And if nothing's helping him, then I've got to, a lot of times, holding him is the only thing. The mental toll of medications, making sure this medication is ordered. Is this medication not working? I need to call and make sure I talk to the doctor about this medication. He has a vitamin deficiency. Okay, let me make sure we get this vitamin added in. Well, now this, vitamin is adding explosive diarrhea into the mix. So it's just like constant checking in on things. And then it's like, if he ever gets sick, then it's like, just like okay, I'm worried. He's getting worse. He's getting worse. Okay, what do you think? Is he worse than yesterday? I think he's worse than yesterday. Do we need to talk about going to the hospital? I think he might be getting better. I don't know. Well, do you have video evidence that what his cough and his breathing sound like? So it's just constant us like trying to play, trying to figure out what's wrong with him before we have to take him in, because obviously in the hospital setting, that is the worst. Obviously we know he's going to be treated with care there, but just having to sleep on a really uncomfortable cot and then having to take off work and getting hit financially, just all of that. I mean, there were some really low moments, but I feel like overall I never lost my faith, and just church family helped prepare me so much for it. And like truly all I had was just giving everything to God and throwing my hands up and getting on my knees and just, I just need you, God. As hard as it might be getting Enzo out of the house or all the kids out of the house, we just need to go. We need to continue serving, because I just feel like that's just the way that God has meant for us to be, is not to just suffer alone, but to share our burdens with people. Reading 1 Peter, he tells us that like we're going to suffer here on earth. We're going to suffer, but consider it as like a partnership with Christ. And he talks about restoring and strengthening, but that we're going to be given, the greatest gift ever, and that is, the salvation and, the hope and just eternal life. Being able to share the love of Jesus, being able to see the joy, inexpressible joy, that I have, that can only be made possible because of Jesus Christ. And so I want to share joy. I want to love others so well that then they ask me, why? How can you be going through everything that you're going through? And then coming in here and putting on this boot camp, like nothing else is going on in your life, and you have this joy and you're always smiling. How can you possibly do that? And that's where I can share the gospel with them. And it's those opportunities that make me feel like this is all worth it. And how lucky am I that I get to share the gospel and live on mission, even in my very own workplace. But too, like, I'm a mom, and that's my biggest job title, and one that I just cherish so much. It's such a gift. When I'm given this gift of Enzo, right? He is a gift. I've been chosen to do this, and I want to do it well. My mission, my purpose in life is to really share Enzo's life with others. Like, it's really, really awesome to see how powerful our God is, and how even the hardest of hearts can be softened and knees can drop to the ground, using Enzo's life as a vessel to all of that, to God's love.
How deep the Father's love for us, how vast beyond all measure, that He should give His only Son to make a wretch His treasure. How great the pain of searing loss, the Father turns His face away, as wounds which mar the chosen one bring many sons to glory.
But He was pierced for our transgressions, He was crushed for our iniquities. Upon Him was the chastisement that brought us peace, and with His wounds we are healed.
Behold the man upon the cross, my sin upon his shoulder. Ashamed, I hear my mocking voice call out among the scoffers. It was my sin that held him there until it was accomplished. His dying breath has brought me life. I know that it is finished. And you were dead in the trespasses and sins in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience, among whom we all once lived in the passions of our flesh, carrying out the desires of the body and the mind, and were by nature children of wrath like the rest of mankind. But God, being rich in mercy, because of the great love with which he loved us, even when we were dead in our trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved. I will not boast in anything, no gifts, no power, no wisdom, but I will boast in Jesus Christ, his death and resurrection. Why should I gain from his reward? I cannot give an answer, but this I know with all my heart, his wounds have paid my ransom.
For this reason I bow my knees before the Father, from whom every family in heaven and on earth is named, that according to the riches of his glory, he may grant you to be strengthened with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you being rooted and grounded in love, may have strength to comprehend with all the saints what is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled with all the fullness of God.
How deep the Father's love for us.
Thank you, Kayla Martin, for living such a powerful testimony for Jesus. You are an inspiration to us. Wow, what a story. And thank you for Dwayne for leading us, Dwayne and team for leading us in worship this snowy morning. Real Life, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to give by texting MISSION to 97,000. If you've never connected with us, you can connect with us that way. Just text the word MISSION to 97,000. It'll get you set up to connect with us. We can't wait to see you soon, hopefully next Sunday.